Hi, Amy.
Hello, Abby. Thanks for
I'm so
having
happy. Oh, I'm
me.
so glad you're here.
I just feel like so lucky to be on this show because I
Oh,
think you're talking about such important things for women, and it's just like,
thank
let
you
me
for
get in
saying.
here.
Thanks for saying that. I'm gonna switch my video background. I'm just gonna throw things off
Okay.
right away. Um, we can do that while I'm talking. Well, let's talk about your title has productivity in it. One of your many
So, yeah,
titles,
yes, many.
and that word can be very triggering. So, like,
It
let's talk
can.
about your full title, all your titles, and how you got here.
Which one are we referring to?
Well, I'm
All
thinking of
right.
like a productivity coach, which like
Yeah.
I need
Listen,
everyone
I
needs a productivity coach.
I really call it high performance, mostly because it is productivity, but it's about figuring out what goal are we aiming for. And I can't tell
Mm,
you what that is.
mm,
That you're going to tell me what that is. And I can't help you to be better performance, high performance, more productive, you know, balanced, productive, unless I have an idea of what the goalpost is.
mm-hmm,
I think that's what you'll find that I have in common across everything, my coaching, my books, my videos, my whatever,
mm-hmm.
is that it really is about how you define success so that we can map it together.
How do you define success for you? Let's just jump right in there,
Six,
you know?
yeah, sure. I mean, like, success for me is expansion.
Mm,
I think I spent a lot of my life thinking I was supposed to have it all figured out. And if I let anybody in, I could not let them know I didn't know something. And that really keeps you stuck in a lot of
mm,
ways. So, success to me is committing to being a student of life. I hate to sound so like, "Huh," like right off the bat, but I commit to being a student of life. Therefore, I have to look a little dumb sometimes. Therefore, I have to not know the answer sometimes. Therefore, I could know an answer and learn a new one. And that's expansion. So, do I want to expand my business? Sure. I'm going to need to learn a lot of things I don't know. Do I want to expand my mind? Sure. I'm going to need to learn a lot of things I don't know. I
I
mean,
love
like
that.
the book itself, actually, I didn't even do this on purpose, is the expanded edition because I wrote it in 2019.
Mm,
Like, can anybody think about where they were in 2019? Like,
oh my
you think my
God.
life changed since I wrote that book? Everybody's life changed
Yeah.
since 2019.
Yeah.
And I had to break down where some of my story changed. And that's an expansion of me. But I had to also track that back to, do these principles still stand?
And
And it's definitely that they do,
okay.
which it was also a very hard thing for me. It's not that it was like, oh, good, I was right. There
Yeah.
were some things in there that I should have also been taking advice on,
Well,
and I could have been doing better.
what are those core principles?
Well, listen, there's a number of habits, but the book is called Good Morning, Good Life. And I think it really explains it. So if you don't want to read the book, just listen to the title. How do you define a good life? You're the adult in the room. You get to decide. If that's true, you want a good life? Start with a good morning. What does an actual good morning mean to you? It's up for discussion right now because we have access to these crazy computers in our pockets
Mm,
that will let us see anyone's version of success, anyone's version of good mornings, and they may or may not be true, but they're aesthetically pleasing and they make us feel less than.
mm-hmm.
And that's not the goal. A good morning should be one that you have decided is on your terms because you have to be able to make promises to yourself and keep them. And that's what that really is about. That is the core principle. Can you just make the promise that you want good for yourself and you're willing to set boundaries and actively do hard things to make other parts of your life easier to make that happen? That's really all it is. I don't jump out of the bed excited to wake up in the morning,
Do you wake up
but
at
I
the same time
do.
every day?
For the most part, I mean,
Mhm.
lately it's been a little up for discussion because I'm going through seasons with a 3.5, 4 year old,
Mm,
and so she's now in a phase of I'm afraid of the dark when I wake
mm-hmm.
up at 2 o'clock in
Mm-hmm.
the morning, so I have to go find my mom, and so things have to move around. I sometimes have to get her back to bed. I'm
Mm-hmm.
visiting my family in another state right now, so I'm not doing that. She
Mm-hmm.
comes to my bed, she stays in my bed.
Yeah.
And then I wake up with her. So things change. Your life has layers to it.
Hmm.
Being able to say, I still start the day on my terms. There are boundaries that I set, and even if things go wrong, I will find my way back. That's what it's about.
Hmm. So what does your ideal morning look like? What makes you feel like it's a successful morning?
Well,
Pretend you're not
I
a,
hate to go straight into the book, but like
yeah, do
the
it.
reason why I feel it has stood for as long as it has, which is, only since 2019, but that's a good amount of time. There's three buckets to fill. It's really simple. Movement, mindfulness, mastery. Movement, just tell your body it's time to get up. Do something. You don't have to go to the gym if that's not for you. Like,
Hmm.
whatever. Who
Hmm.
cares? If you don't want to go to the gym. I was never a first thing in the morning gym person. That's a new thing for me lately. And it has to do with a reverse engineering of success of my day, partially because my kids are asleep and blah, blah, blah. Like,
Would you wait? What time? I
that's,
was going to ask, what time do you wake up?
listen, I'm waking up at an ungodly hour. I get to the gym when it opens at 4.
Oh my God. I was like, she's going to say 6, maybe
I know.
5:30.
It used to be
4.
6, but first it was 10.
Hmm.
And then it was 6 because it
Hmm.
was always 10. And there's never been an 8 o'clock gym
No,
life for
I
me.
mean, right.
Yeah, that's just it's too much going on at that time. It was 10, but then it was like I started taking my fitness a little bit seriously about a year and a
Hmm.
half ago. And I was like, I'm gonna try to go down the street at the place at like 6:30. And then that was too late. So I was
Mm.
like, all right, let's try 6. You have to experiment. You have to try.
Yeah.
The reason I'm at 4 now is because of the things that happen after that. I'm just like a big fan of how the day dominoes after that. I know
Hmm.
that I did that hard thing. I got it over with. I don't have to think about it the rest
That
of the
is
day. I can be like,
glorious.
I did it.
That is
And
amazing.
my kids can do anything at that point, and I'll be like, thank God I went to the gym because I don't
Yeah.
know if I'd be mentally tough for this right now if I didn't do that.
What time do you go to bed?
I would prefer to be in bed at 8:30.
Hmm.
Sometimes I'm still convincing a 3.5-year-old to
Sure.
go to bed at
Sure.
8:30. But that is the goal. When I talk about it in the book that it's your morning routine does not start at 4, it doesn't start at 8, doesn't start at 10, it doesn't start at any of those AM
Yeah.
times. It starts the night before.
Yeah.
My nighttime routine is how you get to whatever is supposed to happen the next day. So I know that if I want to be asleep by 9 or 9:30, some things got to happen.
Hmm.
And it's not hurry up and get to bed by 9:30, having just put the phone away and
Hmm.
hope for the best. Like your mind's still spinning. You haven't even disconnected from the blue light, whatever light,
Hmm.
And I need to cool off. I need to read a book and not be able to comprehend it because I'm so tired and drift to
Hmm.
sleep. I need to do those things. I need to land the plane on these kids,
Hmm.
right? Things have to happen, and your body learns as you go through the same things at around the roughly the same times every day. It makes things a lot more predictable. I just talked to somebody a little bit ago who's a musician. They're doing sets until midnight at a
Hmm.
club. They're maybe not coming home or removing their shoes walking through the door till 1:32 a.m.
Hmm.
You have to optimize for what success looks like for you. There is no time that's perfect for
Right.
anyone.
Right. But you make it work with that person whose schedule looks that way.
100%. All they have
Hmm.
to do is, well, okay, listen, as long as you're not also reporting to a job at 8 a.m.,
Hmm.
which has its
Right.
own problems,
Hmm.
then you just have to optimize for the life you're living, right? And how can you get the amount of sleep you need?
Hmm.
When do you wake up? Do you go to the gym? And when do you eat? When are your eating windows? Like you have to teach your body some of this stuff. I wish somebody would have told me that a very long time ago because
Yeah.
ultimately it ended up being the reason I thought I couldn't have kids.
Well, let's get into that. Why did you think you
Okay.
couldn't have kids?
Because I was like, all right, we pulled the goalie.
Yeah.
Where are the kids?
Hmm. How long did it
Nowhere to
take
be,
you?
nowhere to be found.
Hmm.
So the first thing I did was, just go to my annual appointment. And my OB was like, okay, it's been a couple months. Sure. All right, let's just check some things out. Let's check your thyroid.
Hmm.
And, my mom had been telling me, ha, 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 wait until they tell you your thyroid's off. It's genetic, it's coming. And she was right. They were like,
Hmm.
okay, let's fix that. I went on the thyroid medication, and my husband had been on thyroid medication for the hypothyroid for 10 years also,
Hmm.
but I started looking into it. And this was when I was reading copious books,
Hmm.
one being about celery juice.
Yes,
And
this is the
I
celery juice
read,
phase.
yeah, I read
Deep.
this and I was like, oh no, I can't just come off this medicine anytime I want. I have to like like if my husband
Hmm.
wanted to come off, he would have to take a year to come
Hmm.
off of it. Like really like, and this is all I knew. I'm just making all this up.
Yeah,
Like I'm
great.
doing Googles and and I'm reading I just got to drink celery juice.
Hmm.
So I weaned myself off the medicine I'd been taking for a month. Took me about 2 weeks. Wean myself off, right? Instead of just not taking it. I was like, I'll slow it down. And then I wanted to go see a holistic doctor who would also reinforce the idea of drinking celery juice that I had already begun drinking.
Hmm.
So I went to go see this doctor, and he, credited himself on being both Western and Eastern medicine. And he's looked at me and he was like, Amy, you need to take that medicine. I
Mm.
was like,
The
what?
celery didn't fix it?
I don't understand. I can't just keep drinking the celery juice and it's going to be
Hmm.
fine. And he said, listen, there are things that you can do holistically that will help your body a lot. But that medicine is going to help you with that particular issue with your thyroid, which is very common, and that medicine
Hmm.
is effective. We will put you on this other one, blah, 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 blah. That's more whatever, better. I said, okay. So I switched to his thyroid medicine. And one of the big things that he told me, now remember, I put this book out in 2019,
Hmm.
and there's an entire chapter in Good Morning, Good Life called Rise. But that entire chapter is about sleep. Because in order to rise, you need to sleep. So I
Hmm.
had just put this book out. I'm like, you need to sleep, everyone. Everybody, you need to sleep. And then I go see this doctor in 2021. And he's like, so Amy, you need to like slow down a little bit. You're a little type A and you need to sleep. And I was like, sir, I don't think you know who I am. I wrote
I
a
have
book.
written
It's
a
called
book
Good
on
Morning, Good
this.
Life.
Yes.
I tell everyone to sleep. I love sleep. I'm the best sleeper. I sleep in bowling alleys. Like I'm
Hmm.
great at
Hmm.
sleep. And he was like, maybe not. And that ended up being a really important part of this expansion was hitting that head on. That I thought I was checking the box
Hmm.
of sleep. He's like, how much sleep do you get? 7.5 hours. Okay. Why? Um, it's working for me. I got to wake up at 4. I was waking up at 4 at that time, but not to go to the gym, just because I loved life at that time. And I still love life, but for different reasons.
Hmm.
And so he's like, what time would you wake up if you didn't set an alarm? And I was like, do you understand that that's offensive? Do you know that everyone in America has to wake up to an alarm? They have to go to work. I have to go to work. I love my work. I love to wake up and do my work. He's like, but how long? And I was like, well, on the weekends, I definitely sleep like 9 hours. He's like, what if you always slept 9 hours? Again, cue offensive. And but I had to take that advice. I had to hear it. I had to reread my book. Like I had to take it in and I had to decide, do I want to meet my firstborn?
Right.
Like that's how do you answer that question? I mean, it's
Hmm.
pretty simple.
Hmm.
And I feel I was very fortunate. I'm on the thyroid medicine, sleeping, no alarm for a little while. We sold our house. We went to Italy for a month. That'll also do it. And I came back. I signed on a new house in a new state away from all of our families and found out I was pregnant.
Hmm.
I think that that's such a great story. And if I'm somebody who's been through a hell of a lot more with infertility, I'm pretty annoyed with
I'll
Amy.
tell you my Italy did not do it for me. But but neither did 8,000 other things. But in
Yep. Yeah.
theory, sure.
Also, I was stressed out in Italy. So that's a fun joke, but I
Yeah.
don't think it was Italy. I
Yeah.
think it was, I think at that point, 6 months
Hmm.
of slowing down.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
I was still going. I was still doing things that drove me, but
Hmm.
I was slowing down in other ways
You were taking the
that
rest
I was
and
tightening and didn't need to.
hmm. Yeah.
And so, but that's the only way I can explain it. I actually don't know why it happened when it happened. I really
Hmm.
don't,
Sure.
because I was already pregnant in Italy, to be
Hmm.
fair. Like if you
Hmm.
actually look at the calendar, like it made no sense. I came back and I was like, I'm so tired. Like what?
Hmm.
And it can't just be the pasta that I'm tired. I put on 5 pounds. No, it has to be more. It has to be more than that. And it was. I was pregnant. I just didn't know it. Like it's all of these things that you do
Hmm.
that suddenly your body just starts to work in certain ways that it wasn't working before. I've never been regular in my life. I listened to a very riveting podcast on your show recently that asked a great question, like when did you learn to track your cycle?
It was Natalie Crawford. It was just this week, I think.
And it
And it
was
was
just like,
when I started
this is
trying to get pregnant, right? For you too?
trying. Yes.
Yeah.
Listen, like you're taught when you go in once a year
Yeah.
and they go, when was the start of your last period?
Right.
And I go, now, modern day, we check the app, but you're telling somebody who's just like, give me a rough
Hmm.
idea.
Right.
It's just like, give me a rough idea of when you did it is
Right.
not the same as, Amy, we just want to reinforce to you the importance of tracking your cycle. It's really important for you.
Hmm.
No one's ever said that to me.
Right.
And I think that that's an important thing to reflect on because if that is an important point of measurement, that might have told me more about the fact that how intuitive I feel about my body. I might have actually been listening to it for longer than I was.
Hmm. And we are not told to listen to our body. We are told mostly to ignore our body. So, or, that we're overreacting to things. And the reality is we might be, but like, so what? We should still be
Yeah.
paying attention to what our body is telling us. It's very,
Yeah.
very
You are much more likely for a doctor to tell you, you're fine, go home.
exactly. Exactly, which is why we are trying to, I mean, we, the collective we of like women making noise in all of these spaces are trying to get that changed. We're really
Mm.
trying, and I think we're doing a good job. I think
Yeah.
I do think there are shifts coming. Um, okay, so tell me how you work with people. When people come to you for coaching, how do you start? Where do you start? What do you feel like they're coming to you and being like, "Oh my God, I need help with X."
I love that question. It's usually that they know what they want, but they've never actually been asked.
Mm,
Like, I can't tell you the number of times that somebody said, I have to work with you. And it was just because I repeated back to them what they said they wanted.
mm,
They were not so bold as to articulate it or put a number on it or to say how it would feel or to say how their personal life would improve if we reached such a goal. And I think sometimes it's so realistic of a goal, which I don't like realistic goals. I like to shoot a lot higher.
mm,
But it's so realistic when they see it for the first time. They're like, I could do that.
hmm.
And they just needed somebody to be their partner and hold them accountable on it. That's how it starts. I can't know I'm gonna help you until I know
Hmm.
what you want.
Hmm.
People come to me all the time, they're like in my DMs, hey, just tell me how much it is. Can I no.
Hmm.
No, you can't. Because I take seriously the people who commit to showing up.
Hmm.
Nobody gets a discount. Everybody meets me where they're supposed to be. And it's because when you pay attention. And the people
Hmm.
who are paying attention are going to have to do the work. I'm not saying that making money or doing better for yourself or getting more done is going to be a lot of hard work. Actually, it's probably going to be easier because the reason you're coming to see me is because you're doing a whole bunch of stuff that doesn't matter. Cue the productivity advice.
Hmm.
And we're going to make what does matter worth more by you cutting that out.
Yeah.
That's what usually happens.
Mm.
But who cares about all that stuff if you don't know what you want? What are we mapping to?
Yeah. And I think I can tell you, even with my own fertility coaching, it's very hard in my world. It's very hard because people are already spending so much money
Oh,
on fertility treatments, right? And they're like,
yeah.
oh God, how am I going to pay? Right? You're
Yeah.
already resentful. You're spending money on
A
things
100%.
that people get for free. Productivity, you're like, productivity, I should just be able to make myself more productive. No big deal. But those skills are invaluable. Like you're paying to be able to really change your life, which will ultimately, ideally, be able to make you more money. It's like a
Absolutely.
hard shift of mindset.
It is. And the other thing that people get wrong about productivity, and you know what? This is definitely part of the factor of why I didn't get pregnant right away. In
Hmm.
addition to whatever other sciencey things were going on, like the birth control I was on forever and all these things.
Hmm. Hmm.
We as women have really 10x'd what our the expectation of what we were supposed to do it was over
Right.
these years. Okay. So now I don't know about you, Abby, but when somebody asks me if I can do something, I don't want to say no because if I say no, that would
Yes.
indicate I'm incapable.
Mm-hmm.
So when you ask me, can you do that? I'm going to say, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Why? Who's asking, right? Like
Mm-hmm.
don't question my capability.
Mm-hmm.
So by being so capable and by continuing to prove and prove and prove and prove how capable I am, I'm not asking for help. I'm not leaning on anyone. I don't want to put you out because I've always done it, so I'm going to keep always doing it.
Mm-hmm.
You can't do it, right? Because I've been doing it forever and
Right.
obviously I've come up with the masterful way. So what happens is we never run out of capability. We move mountains
Yeah.
and we take the kids to soccer at the same
Right.
time.
Right. It's no big deal. Just add on one more thing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But the problem is you're never going to max out that capability, but you have maxed out capacity.
Right.
So we have to figure that out because everyone's like, I need to be more productive because they're like, I need to squeeze more in. And that's the opposite that you should be doing. You
Mm-hmm.
need to squeeze more out, gone, cut, no list, get it gone, boundaries. Say no when it's a no, not
Mm-hmm.
let me check. I got to think about it. Maybe you ask me every time, so how can I say no? I mean, I looked at a very successful entrepreneur the other day. We were supposed to hang out, and she said, yeah, I definitely want to, but I also told my friend I'd help her move. What?
Mm-hmm.
On what? No, we stopped doing that in our 20s to
Yeah.
begin.
Right.
Secondly, you do not have time for that.
Right.
You don't have time for that. We
And also,
don't move
you just,
coffee
we
tables
don't
from
move
people's
coffee tables
apartments.
and you also don't double book. Why are you double booking?
Yeah. So now you're telling me that our time together is
Right. Is
equal.
not
That
valuable. Right.
what is
That's a
no,
bummer.
you are not impressive to me because you squeeze in for everyone.
Yeah.
You are impressive to me because you can look at me for 20 minutes straight without looking on your phone and you said you'd be there, so you're there. Even just 20 minutes.
Right.
I would be thrilled because it's a commitment. It's not about sitting next to each other and being on our phones all day long.
Mm-hmm.
It's about like, did you intend to be there? We are so busy proving our capability. We've maxed out capacity and we're not actually present at any given time.
Mm. Jeez, it hits hard.
It's a
It
lot.
hits hard.
It's a
It's a
lot.
lot.
That takes a long time to learn that about yourself
It
too, because you don't
does.
even know most of it, you don't even know you should be cutting out, which is what hiring a coach does.
Right.
It helps you skip the line. It's saying, I agree to expand no matter what that means. Somebody else is going to tell you what that means, and you're going to push back at first because it's going to be hard.
Mm. How does saying no get us to productivity?
Immediately. I mean, immediately. Saying no to the alarm clock made my body more productive instantly.
But now do you say yes to it to get up at 4 o'clock in the morning, or does your body
I
do it
sure
on
do.
its own?
I don't wake
Mhm.
up naturally at 4 a.m. I'm not
Yeah.
72. I mean,
Yeah.
like, yeah, absolutely. Is that counterintuitive? Maybe.
Hmm.
The goal is different. At that season of my life,
Hmm.
I wanted to meet my kids. I now don't want to meet any more kids. I like the number of kids that I
Which
have.
is, what is that number?
Two,
Okay.
two girls. I am one of, I have two younger brothers also.
Hmm.
But me and my sister, it was just the two of us
Hmm.
for my 10 years.
Hmm.
So it feels good. I like
Hmm.
it. I'm also 40 years old. Like
Hmm.
I I was already advanced maternal age
Yeah, sure.
from Jump Street. So I'm all
Yeah.
set. I really am all set.
Yeah,
I
you're
feel
good.
very, very good with mine.
Good.
And if it were to happen again, I would be so at peace with that. But
Hmm.
that's not the goal I'm reverse engineering
Right.
right now.
Right.
So I think that's the other thing people have to be at peace with. Like you can find what works. And guess what? It's not going to work soon.
Right.
Like, I mean, the week before my almost 4-year-old said, or well, not said, started wanting to co-sleep all of a sudden, I was sitting down with a best friend who was having co-sleeping in her house, and I was telling her how my kids sleep in their own bed. I said, you're stronger than me. I don't know if I could do it if they wanted to sleep with me. She said, you're stronger than me because my kids sleep with me.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I hear you. And then things change. And so now it's like, oh, well, my life is just over now because my kids dictating the terms. Listen, there's a balance, and they're the literal manifestation of something I wanted.
Hmm.
So I'm not going to throw away everything that worked just because my dreams came true and now it's all about them. I'm still supposed to put my mask on first.
I'm obviously meant to hear this from you today because my children are 7. I have twins, and they are also all of a sudden, for the first time in life, co-sleeping at
Oh,
7. And I'm like trying so
well, I
hard.
hope I'm
Like
past it by then.
in the beginning, I see, and in the beginning, I was like, absolutely not. I'm going to put my foot down. And then, like, their school is very social emotional learning. So there's all kinds of therapists to talk to about everything. And they were like,
Wonderful.
well, if you can handle it, it really is best for them because you're providing a safety that they don't.
Wait, where their therapists are watching a lot of TikTok then, because my
I
husband is
mean,
coming to me and he's going, a lot of our generation is co-sleeping now. They're buying really big beds. And I was just like, go someplace else
I
with it.
know, I know.
I will not hear it.
I mean, I'm
Because,
like trying so hard. Plus, I have twins. It was one thing when one of them was co-sleeping. Now they're both trying to co-sleep, and it's like,
guys,
guys. But I digress. We'll work on our own sleep issues over here. I know, and
yes.
everyone's like, it's not going to be forever. It's not going to be forever. But
I
you feel
know, live it
like,
up. They're gonna hate you soon, blah, blah, blah. Okay, but also I want to teach them how to
and also
be
I want to freaking
independent
sleep well,
beings.
you know.
Hello, yes, I need to be my best self
That's right.
for them.
Exactly. Exactly. Anyway, so but I needed some of those reminders, so thank you.
You're welcome.
And now do you work primarily one-on-one? You don't do like a group
No,
coach. Oh,
absolutely not.
oh, great. Tell me
Absolutely
how
not.
it tell me how it is.
Listen, I think there are certain circumstances where one-on-one is wildly appropriate.
Hmm.
But for you to be at a certain point in your business and with productivity, there is no world where one-on-one is going to benefit you as much as group
Hmm.
because that is part of the expansion. You don't know what you don't know.
Yeah.
So I get that a lot where people are like, I really want to work with you, but I want to work with you one-on-one. I'm like, no, you don't.
Hmm.
No, you
Hmm.
don't. No, you don't, because it's going to cost you way too much money. And
Yeah.
I'm booked out for 6 months
Right.
because I'm going to expect far more of you. You're going to see far less of me and you're going to pay a lot more. You don't want that. You want to be in this program to find out what these guys have done so you can play some catch up. And
Hmm.
also, here are the questions you don't even know to ask yet.
Hmm.
So no, everybody's in right, not everybody. I mean, I have one-on-one clients that can do that, but it's a different solve. The majority of my clients are in my inner circle program, and that's where we can unlock the role model, which is what I teach, is how to leverage a personal brand to scale up a business.
Hmm.
And some of that is optimizing for your energy, and some of that is just revealing your focus. Like a lot of them have a very hard time focusing because we've been taught, especially in the early days of business here on the internet, that we need to diversify our revenue streams.
Right.
And it's like, that's a great idea, except for you have 10 revenue streams that don't even crack six figures. So, like,
Right. So you
that's not
you would
mastery.
say like crack one before you crack the next.
Yes, if you're not making $1 million on one revenue stream, stop trying to be good at more.
Yeah. That's really good
It
advice.
you why are we doing this? Well, I want to be a professional speaker. Okay, great. The likelihood you get paid five figures on stage anytime soon is so low.
Yeah.
You have to put in so much work. You're going to pay so much in travel just to make those trips, beg people to walk on their stages to maybe get a gig at that level. Fine. If you want that to be the whole game, get after it.
Hmm.
But also, if the point is to cash flow the business so that you can do some of those gigs so that they look good in marketing, there's
Hmm.
a way better way to make money.
Hmm.
I wish somebody would have told me that as a speaker 10 years ago, because I
Yeah.
thought it was all about that check on stage. And it's the hardest one to get, and it's not worth what that presence up there could be if you leverage it the right way.
Mm. How do you feel like let's talk about like ritual, I guess.
Sure.
What rituals do you feel like are important to keep you into this productivity phase and how do you create them? How does each person figure out what's best for them?
I think, like I said before, if you don't know what you want, then like don't worry about your morning routine. Don't worry about it. Just get really good at getting to be a good wanter. This
Okay.
is my favorite thing with my kid right now. She hates it.
Mm.
She's like, I want a Hershey kiss.
You're like, think bigger,
Thank you.
girl.
But no, but also no. But I'm like, I love that you know what you want.
Mm-hmm.
You're such a good wanter. Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Like the clarity that you're like, I don't want any chocolate. I
Mm-hmm.
want a Hershey kiss.
Mm.
I don't know a lot of business owners that would say that to me.
That's
They're probably
true.
like, I could go for some chocolate. I could go for some chocolate. My daughter comes to me, I want a Hershey kiss. I want the one that has the silver and brown wrapping, the
Oh,
twist.
I love
She,
that.
she, how clear are you on what you want? If you can't do that, then you can't visualize success.
Mm-hmm.
In gratitude, you're really supposed to be in an expanded place. I find all the time we stay stuck because we're afraid to want. So we sit in gratitude. I call it the gratitude trap. I'm going to sit here in gratitude. Okay, I'm grateful for my kids. I'm grateful that I have a roof
Mm-hmm.
over my head. I'm grateful that I have access to the internet. I'm grateful, grateful. And then you end up stuck because you go, well, things are pretty good. Who am I to ask for more?
Mm-hmm.
I have my health. I'm good. I'm good. And so you stay stuck there. No, when you're in gratitude, you're supposed to be in deep, emotional, fabulous gratitude about the highest version of you because it makes you feel like you're already there. And that's what's going to give you the greatest momentum. You should feel like those kids are already there if they're not there yet, because you will be doing yourself and them a justice by being in that feeling. I know that that's so hard to hear if you don't have kids. It sounds like you want to slap me. And I don't disagree because that's a really tough place to be mentally, but that's the work. That's the mental work. So if you want to be more productive, I would just ask you why. You have to know what you want. I don't want you to be more productive. I just want you to be more successful. If you can do something like just so you know, the largest revenue stream that I have takes me 1 hour a week, group coaching program.
Mm-hmm.
Why would I want to be more productive? Maybe I should add more windows. Maybe I should make it easier for everybody in Japan to join. No, they want it in. That's the standard. That's when the call is, they can join.
Mm-hmm.
I don't need to split myself up. We're constantly trying to find ways to pull from our capacity. And we don't need to. I don't want you to be more productive. Productivity is the easy way to bring you in. Because you're like, yeah, she's going to help me figure this out, do this better.
Mm.
I'm ADD, so please tell me how to handle that, blah, 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 blah. You want me to fix you. I want you to just know what you want. And everything else is going to make a lot more sense as soon as you're clear on that. When somebody asks me to go to, everybody loves when I say this. I think it's a little controversial sometimes, but like bridal showers or baby showers, I don't want to. I just don't want to.
Neither.
I just don't want to. I went to one, like I probably was 10 years ago, and I was like, yeah, that'd be fun. And I sat in a country club for like 3 hours and painstakingly ate like the worst country club meal and watched somebody open gifts.
Yeah.
And and it's not because I'm not happy for you. This is a life-changing moment. You're bringing life into the world for the first time and you deserve all the love in the world. I am not your audience.
Mm-hmm.
So after that, I became really like this is feeling like resistance for me. I don't know. I don't
Mm-hmm.
know. Now it's easy. I'm going to a wedding in April. I
Mm-hmm.
got the invitation for the bridal shower. Thank you. I couldn't get to that registry fast enough.
Thank you, but no thank you. Here's your
Send.
gift. Yeah,
Like this is all it's about. And
that's
guess
right.
what? I if I have not seen you more than once in a year, I'm only going to your wedding because it's in a fabulous vacation spot and I'm very happy for you and those two things work for me.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't need to go to the shower because it's going to be all your friends from high school and college and it should be. It should be your immediate family. It should be those people around and
Mm-hmm.
that's fine. There is a hierarchy of whether or not I'm going to say yes. That's part of my rule. And then otherwise, it's so easy. I get the invitation in the mail and I'm like, "Great. Where's the registry website? Where do I decline?" And gratefully decline. When I have clarity I have a 2 and 4 year old and I work for myself, so the time with them over the weekend matters.
Well, and I
It's an
think
easy no.
so for you, it's an easy no. For me, it would be an easy no. People feel guilt and shame about this. How do we
100%.
stop them from feeling that?
Stop taking it. Who's guilting you?
Mm-hmm.
Who's guilting you? Why are you turning it into a shameful thing? And the feedback I have heard in the past is like, they came to yours. Well, I guess. I guess
That was
I
15 years ago,
I
10 years
didn't
ago.
even
Yeah.
I didn't put them on. Did you notice how other people
Mm-hmm.
put them on for you? Which is
Mm-hmm.
supposed to be how it is, and I get that. But it's like I actually like didn't really, you know, like
It's an interesting, that's
actually
an
tried
interesting response too.
like I just like but listen, it's not about not supporting the people you love. I just think that you can decide if you don't love it.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't love it, do you have something you do
Mm-hmm.
love? For
Right.
me, there's a shower I could go to, and or I'm promoting a book, I'm writing a book. I have a 4-year old, I have a 2-year old. I rarely see my husband anymore.
Mm-hmm.
And I can think of all of my immediate family that I never get to see because I live out of state, and I'd pick them first too.
Mm-hmm.
So it's
Yeah.
a no.
Priorities. I mean, you got to find your priorities.
If you can't say no to that,
Yeah.
how are you ever going to learn to say no to your boss who insists on you replying to text messages at 6 o'clock in the morning?
Right.
How are you ever going to say no when somebody asks you to move, but you've been friends forever
Well,
and you
yeah,
don't know what
that's
to say?
insane.
Like,
Right.
my time is worth more now. Like, you have to learn more elegant ways of carrying yourself. By the way, like, I don't say, like, I don't do that. That's
Of
not what I
course.
do. I'm like, thank you so much for thinking of me. I'm so deeply grateful that I would even be on a list like that.
Mm-hmm.
And I am so happy to support you in the next chapter of your life in the ways that work for mine. Because I also only get one
Yeah.
life. That's it.
I love
It's about
this.
getting better at choosing you.
Yeah. And I think once you start to do it, it's so much easier to do.
So much easier. If you love bridal showers, be the best bridal shower guest ever. Like,
Mm-hmm.
but like, crush it. Go
Yeah.
and be fully in the energy of it. I'm not fully in the energy.
Yeah. I want to just end with some tips that maybe you can give for procrastinators. How do I stop procrastinating and why do I procrastinate?
Well, you're doing a lot of stuff you don't want to do.
Mm.
You're doing a lot
True.
of stuff you don't want to do, so you're procrastinating on that. And in the case that you're procrastinating on something that you're like, oh, I could have been the host of Women's Wellness if I just would have started, or I could have done that, or I could have tried that, or I could have been the first to YouTube. I just didn't. I just watched it instead. I could have. I could have.
Mm.
Yeah, you're right. You're afraid of the unknown, and yet literally everything is the unknown. You're choosing which unknown to be afraid of. And the enemy you think you know, like the average day that happens tomorrow, the kids that co-sleep with you so you can't start the day on your terms, the boss that takes you for granted, the promotion you're not going to get, all those things, they continue to happen because you follow and fill that story to becoming true. So just decide that all is the unknown. And if you were to stop procrastinating on one thing that feels a little scary and risky, you could just take one step and actually learn something real about it. Because we can tell you everything about all the things that we know, and we still will not be able to tell you everything because it's not your experience. You have to take action.
I love it. That's the perfect place to end. Take action. Thank
Yes.
you, Amy. This is so good. What a wealth of info. We will, of course, link out to all of your stuff if people want to work with you. And thank you for just being the bright you.
Thank you, Abby. Thanks for having me on. I really appreciate it. Just so everyone knows, bring somebody on the journey with you if you're just starting with your morning routine.
I love
Go to
that idea.
goodmorninggoodlife.com, because if you get 2 books, we're doing 2 paper planners as well, because I wanted people to be able to pair up
Whoa.
with a friend. Yeah, like it's like a major bonus. So I just wanted to make sure everybody knew that. And I've been having too much fun talking to you to make
No,
sure.
that's
So,
great. The planner is
but
incredible too. Like, well, of course, we'll link out to the site, but like, look at the planner. If you're a planner and a like pen
thank
to paper kind of gal, like, it's really amazing.
Thank you, Abby. Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
really pumped about it. So thanks for having me on, and I just hope everybody decides to just do one thing that
Do one thing. And
is
if you
about
do,
choosing
message
them.
us about it. Post on Instagram when
Yes.
we have this clip going, like, post about it. I would love to see what you guys all do.
Yes.